What is going on, guys? DJ Neeks here, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. It is not quite at the time for the Hanzo patch. That is going to be later this week. I am recording this on the weekend before that, because another patch came out before then. I guess maybe we'll call it the Nerf Support patch, possibly, because that's basically what the main gist of the patch was, where pretty much every support in the game got nerfed a bit. Trying to tone down the double support comps in the game, since many people say it's the strongest composition type in the game these days. So Blizzard decided, alright, fine, we'll just nerf all the supports in the game a bit. And then, yeah, even taking away one of Malfurion's best talents. But anyway, amongst that patch was also a rework, a talent rework outside of introducing a new character, which is a little odd that they would have this before, but the character that got reworked was Sergeant Hammer, which I was a little surprised by, because I thought she had gotten reworked recently, but maybe they decided she needed another rework, where they decided to move some talents around, take away some generic talents, and try to give some more uniqueness to Sergeant Hammer. For one thing, the Siege mode is now her trait, not her E-ability. Her E-ability is now this new thing called Neo Steel Plating, where she gains 25 armor for 2 seconds. But in Siege mode, it's even more. It's 50 armor, 100% more armor. You'll see everything is better in Siege mode. The radius for Concussive Blast is increased by 50%. The cast range for Spider Mines is increased by 100%. Blunt Force Gun and Napalm Strike, I think, are still the same. But her talent tree is very interesting. Ambush, looks like it's a little different. Obviously, this is going to be a little different when the stealth changes come out and are put into play. Advanced Artillery, is there pretty much still. This new one, Maelstrom Rounds. It's a charge activation ability. Activate to increase basic attack damage dealt by 40% for 5 seconds. Hitting structures with basic attacks reduces the cooldown by 5 seconds, stores up to 3 charges, and it has a 90-second cooldown on each charge. Very interesting. I can definitely see other Hammer players wanting to take that. Level 4, the Barricade, that's now at level 4. Some of these were down here. Now they've been moved up here. Siege Tactics is a new one for her E-ability. Playing while in Siege mode grants an Unstoppable for 2 seconds. So now she has her own Unstoppable, her own Cleanse. Very interesting. And Regenerative Biosteel. Basically, they took away First Aid at level 7. So now this is now replaces Vigorous Assault, which was the healing on basic attacks. Plus, you could also take either take that or Focused Attack. Now, you could take this to be able to get 15% of the damage dealt back as healing, unless you want the Unstoppable. Level 7, this is where things get interesting. Hover Siege mode and Graduating Range have been moved from level 16 to level 7. So now you can get either of these at level 7. That is incredible. And yet I saw, I think, some Hammer, at least one Hammer player take this instead of either of those, which I find very interesting. Maybe Spider Mines is going to be the new way to go. Level 13, Thrusters will leave behind Spider Mines. Because of less damage, knockback are increased by 75%. Hyper-cooling engines. While in Siege mode, hitting heroes with basic attacks reduce the cooldown of thrusters by 5 seconds. Now that's interesting. Level 16, Giant Killer is here. Executioner is here. Mechanical Know-How. Neo Steel Plating grants 5% maximum health as a shield for 2 seconds. If this shield is destroyed, basic attack damage is increased by 50% for 5 seconds. Wow. Man. And then level 20, we still have Orbital BFG, Advanced Lava Strike, Shrapnel Mines. Upon detonating, reduce the cooldown to reduce the armor of enemy heroes by 10 for 3 seconds. Hitting enemy hero basic attacks while in Siege mode grants 5% attack speed for 5 seconds up to 40%. Wow! So I guess that's now the the new Nexus Frenzy unique for Sergeant Hammer. See, this is what I like. I like that they, even though Executioner Giant Killer are still here, they are trying to implement unique talents that are only for this hero, not just basic generic talents like First Aid. It drove me nuts trying to kill Sergeant Hammer, and then they would pop First Aid and they would get away alive. It would just drive me insane. Now that's gone. So I'm very interested in seeing how this is done. I don't play that much Sergeant Hammer. I only have her level 10. You know, I do like my lane pushing specialist, but obviously in this current meta, with all the ways that they can be able to crowd control you with a stun or a root, if you're caught in siege mode against some very high mobile or high burst damage heroes, you are dead as Sergeant Hammer. That's how it's been in my experience, especially in this current time with the likes of Kael'thas, Genji, Li Ming. Li Ming just wrecks Hammer as long as nothing is blocking her abilities to hit Hammer, because she's able to actually hit her. And of course, don't even get me started on Chromie. Chromie annihilates Sergeant Hammer. when Hammer is hit up in siege mode, Chromie's just like, ooh, target practice. But who knows? Maybe this new version of Hammer will be able to make her a little bit more adaptable. Let's see here.
Come on, get ready, get ready. Ready or not, here I...
So obviously pretty much everyone knows Ambush because of the whole stealth thing. Advanced Artillery has kind of been a tried and true level 1 talent for Hammer for quite some time. Obviously this is the new one that makes people go, So you know what? Let's pick it up and let's see how it works. I don't think I would regularly pick this myself, but then again, I don't regularly play Hammer anyway. But for the purposes of testing and seeing how it is, obviously this is a showcase series where I'm trying to showcase how the hero works, which is why these days I have been doing it on, or not on, but versus AI. Oh, that's right. So this is the thing. It's going to take me a little adjusting to, because I'm so used to pushing E for her siege mode. But now that it's D, I press E by mistake. But that's how it looks, see? It just puts this plating on there. Look at the range. Look at the range on where you can drop your spider mines. Look at that. That's from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. Look at that radius. I can just throw my mines way out here. Look at that. That is incredible. Let's activate a charge. Nope, never mind. I'm not in range. I just wasted that charge. And once again, I use my plating instead of getting out of siege mode because I am not quite used to the whole press D instead of E to do your siege mode stuff. Activate a charge here. Raynor is staying just outside my range. That is a little annoying. Li Ming could totally hit me right now if she wanted to, even though those turrets are right there. So of course, since I'm Sergeant Hammer, I gotta get a little closer and then just siege up to attack the structures. And apparently I am not... You see that, right? Why is... It's touching the tower, so why is it saying I'm not in range to attack the tower? I don't get it. It has to be beyond it? Well, that's a little annoying. Regenerative Biosteel, I'm going to activate that and then hit my thrusters to get away. And go Sippy Cup. There we go.
Trigger terminal online. Take control of it to pilot the mech.
Siege mode here. It's like, this is a good map for Hammer here, as long as I have teammates around me to protect me, because I can just sit here on the point, doing the objective, while, and of course, look at this range. I can be able to put spider mines there to scout and defend the point. And of course, just wait till you get to 7 and you can pick up graduating range. As long as you have the vision, you'll be able to just, like, keep bombarding them. Look, I can put spider mines there. I can surround this with the entire objective here with spider mines if I wanted to. Let's activate the maelstrom rounds to do all that extra damage. Oh my goodness. You saw that damage I did to Zagara and Li Ming? Wow. Boom. Yeah, Zagara is dead. I am not getting in that. I hope the AI teammates go ahead and do that, because I don't want to get in that thing. I don't know if I've ever seen an objective where people are more reluctant to get into it than they have been on this map for this objective. I think it's because it takes 2 people, or it can take 2 people, and people are like, I don't want to, you know, they don't want to try and use that robot there. You know, it's funny, for the longest time in my A through Z series, I couldn't get the map. You know, and I was like, I've never played on the map before, I want to actually try it out. Look at all that crit damage from activating Maelstrom rounds. Oh my goodness. Activate again. Look at that crit damage, and look at the extra healing it's giving me. Wow. Look at that. You see how it's reducing the charge? Oh, wow, that's great. I can go here. Because I have graduating range now, I'll be able to just do insane amounts of damage. Oh, very nice, Gazlo. Very nice. Activate Maelstrom rounds to do that extra crit damage on the fort. My goodness. Wow. Oh yeah, I can definitely see that being like the go-to talent at level 1 for Sergeant Hammer. Even though people loved using that ambush thing, I think when the stealth changes come into play, they'll be like, nah, not anymore. We are going to go for blunt force gun. You know, I've always liked this one. I've always thought that this is more suiting for Hammer than Napalm Strike. Does a lot of damage, plus it's great. Especially when you get to level 20, you pick up the orbital one, because then that could just constantly be pushing the lane. I did take... look at this. It looks to me like they nerfed graduating range, because I remember this being even bigger. The radius of this being bigger. It looks like they nerfed it. They made it where you could pick it up at level 7, but I'm pretty sure this has been nerfed. Yeah, that's definitely been nerfed. Graduating range used to be a lot bigger. Well, I'm sure that if there's anyone who regularly plays Sergeant Hammer, they're probably looking at that and just, like, devastated right now. And fire the BFG! Oh, although I guess I didn't really need to do that, but whatever. Oh, look at the splash damage crit there. Wow. It's boom time. Boom shakalaka. Get out of here, Li Ming. Go ahead and get myself some armor and use my boost to get away. Alright. Actually, I don't think I need a sippy cup. Whee! The conveyor belts. People have had so much fun with the conveyor belts. I saw a vid where Abathur put his mines on the belts down here and they kept going around and around and around. And then people would walk in and get killed. It was hilarious. Set up in siege mode right here on top of the point. Put some spider mines right down there. I cannot hit that wall. Feels bad, man. Boom! Fire that BFG right in Zagara's face. We're gonna go with hypercooling engines to reduce the cooldown. I have a feeling that that is going to be one of those talents that is going to be considered a, you know, a strong pick, especially if you are one of those who likes to set up and then use those to get away from a bad situation. It does have a 30-second cooldown, but you'll be surprised how often hammers are going to rely on that to try and get themselves to safety. Drop more spider mines there. Oh, hello, Lily. Activate Maelstrom rounds to do some more damage there. I don't know why I just fired my concussive blast when she was clearly not in range.
Our future is assured.
It's what I do.
There we go. Finished off that fort.
Without the pilot, the protector is not going anywhere.
Oh! Could not finish him off.
The protector's weapon
Look at this. I'm able to hit that tower from here, though. BFG! Oh! Almost killed the Lily. Oh, very nice. Man, I don't even regularly play Sergeant Hammer, and I can tell that the graduating range just being nerfed the way it was. Ugh, that's sad. That was one of the things that made Sergeant Hammer so frustrating to play against. Because she would be all the way back here, and like the range would be up here, and I could not get to her, and she would just keep doing all this devastating damage to our team because she was so far away. Alrighty.
Perhaps the correct
Let's see
talent
here.
this time.
Let's go with mechanical know-how. So that grants a shield, and if the shield's destroyed, the attack damage is increased by 50% for 5. Oh, okay. So not when it expires, but if it's destroyed. Gotcha. Crit damage, BFG, boom! Look at that. Oh, yes! Finished off that Zagara. And I can hit Li Meng from here. Activate Maelstrom rounds. Look at that crit damage. Look at this. The AI opponent is behind me, not protecting the key. Whee! Use those thrusters. Obviously, when they are right next to me, then I'm not going to be doing much damage to them. Set up right here. There you go, Zagara. Got my spider mines there. Go ahead and activate my Maelstrom rounds. Look at that crit damage on Raynor. That even, oh, the charge cooldown reduction even works on hitting the sippy cups. Oh, yeah.
I'm getting another terminal ready for you.
Alright. Look at that damn. Oh my goodness, look at that damage. I wonder how much more viable this is going to make Sergeant Hammer. I think the fact that graduating range has been nerfed is going to be a big deal. I may end up, you know... I always liked hover siege mode because then she would just move and you could just do the A attack. But you can't really do that when you are in siege mode and you have graduating range. But you can do that in hover siege mode. And the fact that graduating range clearly has been nerfed I think people are gonna give Hover Siege mode another try. I used to see people combine Hover Siege mode with Ambush, and they would just move around in stealth. And they would, like, take a point when someone's trying to capture a camp. By the way, look at the icon when I switch between Siege mode and regular mode. Look at that. Hammer is inside. When I go Siege mode, she pops up. I love that. I just like that little detail. I'm gonna put my spider mines on the conveyor belt. It's now gonna go around and around and around. I just find that funny. Much in the same way that Abathur players found it funny when they did that with the Abathur mines.
The protector cannot move without the pilot.
I got this. In my sight.
You survived. With wonders that
Boom! A little fire.
Boom! Look at all that damage you just did. Activate Maelstrom rounds. See if we can finish off that Rainer, which I did, even though he did knock me back.
What's sweeter than that? Nothing.
You need a gunner to use the protector.
Oh my goodness. Alright, we're gonna go with Orbital BFG, even though I did waste the cooldown on it, so I can't really show it to you guys. But I just love the whole aspect that it's going to just keep going over and over and over. It's how you can be able to turn a match around in terms of the lanes if your team has heavily lost the lanes. So, Sergeant Hammer, this new one, obviously this was against AI, but I would love to check this build out, not with the graduating range, but with the Hover Siege mode, since it clearly got nerfed. Unless I'm seeing it, but I remember it being much bigger. I'm pretty sure it was nerfed, because it did not seem like that big of a deal compared to how it used to be. Now, again, I'm not a regular Hammer player, so it may not be a big deal to me. Playing against Hammer, that I do like that, but we'll have to wait and see how people who regularly play Sergeant Hammer react to this. I tried out Maelstrom rounds, which seemed very good. I think that's going to be a really good talent to take. Regenerative Biosteel to get back that healing, and yes, the crit damage from that does apply to the healing. Graduating range, but it's clearly been nerfed. I think Hover Siege mode may end up being what people might want to go with. Blunt Force Gun, Hypercooling Engines, Mechanical Know-How, and Orbital BFG. I don't know if this is going to end up being the go-to build or meta build for Sergeant Hammer, but I do like the fact that they got rid of generic talents and tried to give her talents that are specific only for her, especially with this new Neo Steel Plating talent. Very interesting that they added that bit there. They took something away, but they gave something back. So I like this. I like this rework from Hammer. I don't know if it's going to make me want to play her more regularly, but very interesting rework. So yeah, that's Sergeant Hammer in what I'm gonna call the Nerf support build. And I guess the next time we check in will be this upcoming Tuesday when the Hanzo patch goes live. And I'll have to wait and see whether or not anything else comes from that. I don't recall if there is any other reworks or anything like that. I think that will also bring the stealth changes. That may also bring the unlimited ammo and structures changes. And that may also bring the voice chat changes. But I'll have to wait and see. We'll have to just wait and see and take a look at the patch notes when they go live on Tuesday. So until then, I will see you guys then.